Hi, I'm Mrs. Fiedler, and today I am very excited to share with you a new project that we're going to be working on in the coming weeks in media. We're calling it Greetings from the Great States of America. This is how it's going to work. Uncle Sam needs you to create a tourism commercial advertising each of the 50 great states of America. This is how you're going to compile the information to make your commercials. Over the coming weeks, you're going to be using our nonfiction book collection, My United States, to gather information and put it on a Google Sheet. You're also going to be using official state websites and nationalgeographickids.com. Don't worry, all of this information will be disseminated to you through Google Classroom, so you'll have easy access to the online resources and be able to manage your project. Also, you're going to be working with Google Sheets. You're going to collect data for online collaboration. And finally, you're going to be using Google Forms to compare and contrast, to evaluate all of your different information resources, your book and your online resources, to determine which resources were best for the specific jobs. So what was the best tool for the job? Finally, you're going to take all of that information and create iMovie trailers to create your tourism video commercials. Now, here's the kicker. Here's the exciting part. If you put together a factual, entertaining, and generally high quality tourism commercial using the iMovie trailer app, I will tweet it out to that state's governor. And how cool would that be if the governor responded to your tourism commercial? That would be pretty awesome. Let's talk for just a minute about eWise. eWise is the Wake County research model, and we also have a picture of it up by our search station in the Media Center. It looks more complicated than it is. Really, what the chart is saying is that there are 4 steps to the research process: wonder, investigate, synthesize, and express. We will go through all 4 of these stages in this project. If you note in the picture, there's a black circle with arrows around the chart. That's what the E represents, and E means evaluate. And that's important because every step of the process, wonder, investigate, synthesize, and express, in each step, you are going to evaluate and make decisions based on your evaluation. I'll demonstrate what that means in a minute. In a moment, you and your partner are going to go over to the books and select a state book from My United States collection. This is where the wonder part of eWise comes in. Really stop and think about a state that you're very interested in. Maybe you're from California, but you grew up in North Carolina, so you probably know a bit about both of those states. Maybe you don't know anything about Utah, for example. So that would be a good choice. You could learn a lot about a new state that you don't know anything about. So take some time and think about what state you and your partner want to select. When you've chosen a book, I want you to go get a Chromebook. You can unplug the Chromebook and move to a quiet corner in the Media Center with your partner if you'd like. Just remember, if you are walking with the Chromebook, carry it with 2 hands. And then one of you is going to log into your class media Google Classroom. In this case, we're going to use Miss Mooney's class as an example. We're going to go to classwork, and then you're going to select Greetings from the Great States of America, Part 1. If you read this carefully, it will tell you step by step what you need to do today. You're going to choose the book. You're going to open this attached Google Sheet. So let's scooch down here, and there's the Google Sheet. The very first thing I want you to do is go to File, Make a Copy, and hit OK. And now you'll notice that the document you're working on is called Copy of Greetings. And the reason I want you to do that is so that only you and your partner can add information to this sheet. Nobody else can do that. So let's make it where you're sharing this with your partner. So let's go to the share button. And then what you're going to do is down here in the people box, you're going to type your partner's Wake ID. I'm just going to type the words Wake ID. Whatever your partner's Wake ID is, and then you're going to type @students with an s.wcpss.net. Don't worry about remembering this. These instructions are in your Google Classroom. And then you're going to hit send. Now your spreadsheet is shared with your partner. So if you're not familiar with a spreadsheet, let's break down some bits of a spreadsheet. If you notice the menus up here and then a lot of the buttons up here, they're very similar to Google Docs, if you're familiar with that. This, however, is different. Look at how there are grids on this spreadsheet. And there's three different terms you need to know about. The first is, let's talk about the vertical columns. We call these columns. And if you wanted to adjust the length of a column, you can hover your mouse over the top and you see how it turns into a two-sided arrow, and you can adjust the width, I should say, of the column. So vertical is column. Horizontal is called a row. This is a row. So what you're going to be doing with your partner today is looking at the column headings and completing your row. These individual boxes inside the grid, these are called cells. So we're going to start at the first cell, and we're going to type in the first names of the group members. Now, if you're ready, and I should pause for a minute and say, remember to use good online manners, be a good digital citizen. We don't want to be silly. We're not using nicknames. We're being mature and professional about this. We are staying on task and adding the information that is asked. So, first names of group members. If you want to move from this cell to the next one, you can do that in many ways. You can click on it. You can use your up and down arrow keys. You can tab over. There's lots of ways you can do it. I like to use the mouse. So now we're going to go to state name, and I'm going to choose, well, let's just choose North Carolina. Capital. Now, this is where you're going to need to go into your book and use things like the table of contents, the index. The index in the back of the book is an alphabetical listing of the subjects that are covered in the book. So if you were trying to find the capital of the state of North Carolina, you might want to look under C in the index for capital. And if it's not there, you might want to look under S for state capital. If you don't find them listed either way in the index, you could go to M for map and look on the map. You might recall that the symbol on a map for the state capital is a star. So you could look for a map of your state and find the star. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I think you get the hang of how you put information into a spreadsheet. And by the way, this goes on for a while. Oh, this reminds me. Let's look at these state symbols, state mammal, state insect, so forth. Not all states have a state mammal, so feel free to do one of two things. If your state does not have a state mammal listed in the book, you could write none in this category, or you could change this to something it does have. There's at least one state that has a state neckwear. I won't tell you what state that is. Or you could add a new column. So if you click on the column and then right click on top of it, you'll see where it says you can insert a column to the left or the right. I'm going to insert it to the left, and now I've added a new column. State neckwear. Okay. Now you will not have enough time to complete this entire chart, this spreadsheet. Don't worry about that. We're going to have several weeks to work on this project. So just choose your book, get your partner, get your Chromebook, and get started today. I or my sub will give you maybe a 10-15 minute warning before the end of class so that if you want to check out books, you have time to do so. Today, I just want you to work with the My United States book. I don't want you searching for any of these answers online. We're going to do that the next time we meet. So today we're just focusing on the book. And if you have any questions, just ask your teacher. Thank you so much and enjoy this project.